We continue with the broadcast this morning on News and Views. If you have just joined in, we welcome you to the show. The question is, when is this ever going to end? We are talking about the city of Johannesburg, motions of no confidence, one after the other. And we've seen what has happened with the previous mayor, Tapelo Ahmad, and from Tapelo to Kabelo, another Al Jama candidate was elected in the mayor's position. And we have now learned of Action SA lining up a no confidence motion in the Johannesburg mayor. And this has come through against some serious allegations with regards to the mayor and also looking at some of the history. And we are joined now by the ActionSA Gauteng leader, Funzi Ngobeni. Funzi, good morning to you, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nayet, and good morning to your listeners and the viewers as well.
Well, the city of Johannesburg has become somewhat of a laughing stock because we see this over and over again. We've seen mayors come and go, the short stint of Tapelo Ahmad, and now we've got Kabelo Gwamanda, a very, very short stint as well. And he has barely his speech is still ringing in the ears of many people. And now we see this Action SA motion of no confidence being lined up. What are the issues?
Yeah, no. Look, I think what we did on Monday was to put a public call to the mayor to use the State of the City address to come clean on these serious allegations that you are referring to, Inayet, which are of criminal nature, And we asked him to use that opportunity to take the residents into his confidence on this allegation and clear the air, and so that we can be able to move on, and knowing that we've got a mayor that his integrity is not tarnished, that we can sleep at night knowing that we don't have someone that is a fraud or someone that has defrauded the poor residents of the city of Johannesburg. So he has failed to do so. He didn't actually take our call seriously. He said nothing about this important matter in his State of the City address, and we are holding him accountable with this instrument that we have, which is the motion of no confidence. And I've heard your opening remarks with regards to the instability that has happened in the city of Johannesburg, and I think. Most of it, to be honest, it's as a result of the failure of the ANC and EFF coalition to identify a right candidate, someone that they themselves can have confidence in him or her being able to go into that office of the mayor and deliver services without any scandals following them. So that's really a sad situation that we are in. But from our side, we don't get tired. We need to continue holding them accountable.
Yes, just while on the subject of the ANC and the EFF, obviously they know. It's not that they don't know any better. We're bringing someone in from a minority party like the Al Jama party, where in the previous case with Tapelo Ahmad and also now with the new mayor, we are Kabelo Gwamanda. It's not that they don't know anything. There is no, in terms of in terms of the capacity to deal with the job, the capability, the ability, and just trying to figure out their motivation by putting in candidates like Tapelo and Kabelo.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think from the beginning we have said that we suspect that these parties do not want to be the one that are blamed when things go wrong in the city. It will be easy for them to say, look, it's not us who are in the mayor's office when this corruption scandal start hitting the newspapers and hitting the public discourse. They will say, we were not in government, we just had an MMC there and an MMC there, and they did their work. The main person that should be accountable should be the mayor. And I mean, if you look at our Structures Act and you look at the Municipal Systems Act, the mayor ultimately is the one that takes the responsibility of of the city, and he's the one that gets to be accountable. So we suspect that they just want to pull the strings behind the scenes and use these individuals, for their nefarious activities that probably they are busy planning and so forth. So it is just unfortunate, but I think the residents and the voters of South Africa should look at these parties and take note that these are instances that gives them an idea of who should they vote for or not vote for come the 2024 elections. But you see, I think with all the suspicions that we have, I think from our side as opposition parties, as constructive as we want to be, we must not shy away from holding these people accountable and exposing, some of the things that we pick up. And this particular one is an example of those. We know that our residents, some of them will say, look, we are tired of these motions of no confidence. They bring instability into the city. But we don't want to fold our arms and then later on the same resident will say to us, but where were you when these things were happening? Why didn't you raise your voices? Why didn't you use instruments that are within your right to use in holding these people accountable? So we don't want to wait for a terrible thing to happen. We want to see this accountability happening and being proactive with it.
Yes, and also I think looking at the city of Johannesburg, the most important city, I would say, in South Africa, a city with a 70 billion rand budget, it's absolutely important and critical that we have the right person for the job. Now, just looking at what has happened in some of the developments, the carte blanche expose, that
Mm.
is extremely important and also relevant. And looking at Action SA and what you are saying, that looking at his State of the City address, he should at the very least have responded to this expose and some of the detailed and the allegations that were contained in the expose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's all we're asking him to do. You see, I mean, if you look at the code of conduct of councillors, you'll find it in the Municipal Systems Act. Part of it says, as councillors, at all times, we need to act in the best interest of the municipality. At all times, we must act in such a way that the credibility and the integrity of the municipalities is not compromised. It's a very, very loaded statement that directs us to act in a particular manner. And when such allegations are put in the public against me as an individual councillor, it is upon me, particularly if I hold an office of the executive mayor, it's upon me to quickly attend to those allegations and ensure that the credibility and integrity of the municipality is not compromised by these allegations. So far, the mayor has not, done this. He has not even responded to, even attended a press conference that he himself called to clear the air. He actually called a press conference over a weekend, and journalists pitched at that press conference, and he didn't come. And later on, we were told that he was not well, or his security was not present, something of that sort. We think that he's running away from accountability, he's running away from answering to this, and probably trying to ensure that he doesn't incriminate himself in the responses that he will give. But that's something that it's not acceptable. And I see that the ANC and the EFF, MMCs, and the leadership of those parties are trying to shield him from this, accountability platforms. And for us as ActionSA, we'll use every means that is available to ensure that we hold him accountable and bring him so that he can be able to answer to these allegations.
Obviously, Funzi, you will require the support of the other political parties with regards to moving for this motion of no confidence. How do the other parties feel? Are you in discussion with them?
Yeah, in fact, prior to us, putting these motions, we were already discussing with other political parties, like the IFP, the Freedom Front Plus, ACDP, and UIM. All these parties have responded positively, And we also wrote to the DA. We actually invited them into these discussions, so that they can collaborate with us. Our intention really was that initially that maybe the DA should be the one that put this motion, because this expose, if you remember, was championed initially by Dr. Palazzi, who was the caucus leader of the DA. But the DA have not responded to us. We wrote to them on the 15th of May. To date, we have not had anything, but we are not tiring. We're going to continue, speaking to their conscience and hoping that they will come on board. We also be talking to other parties which are voting with the ANC and the EFF currently. Inayat, you will remember that when we tabled the motion against Tapelo Ahmad, we didn't have the numbers even that time. But what happened is that among members of the EFF and the ANC coalitions, parties like the PA and others started assessing our argument, and eventually they convinced their own partners that indeed what ActionSA is saying is concerning, and maybe we need to move and change this mayor. That's how we ended up with Tapelo Ahmad resigning as a mayor. But unfortunately, even after that, these parties have failed again to give us someone that is suitable for the office of the executive mayor.
Well, we certainly will follow developments, but for now, Funzi, we thank you for taking time out and talking to us this morning right here on Sada Media. All the best to you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Funzi Ngobeni, ActionSA Gauteng leader, with us this morning. Another motion of no confidence could be looming against the Johannesburg Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda. The time is just gone. 8:34. We come back. The question we're asking is, what can we expect from the 2023 general elections in Zimbabwe?